Okay, I'm going to attempt to show you how to topo with the SCS900. This is an attempt to show you with the emulators. So what I did is over here, I have a Pix40 stockpiled so I can just show you what I'm talking about because I can't go out in the field. First, when you're topoing stockpiles, you just kind of want to get all the features you can. You want to get the brake lines, these ridges, see how it's there. Around these, the bottoms, the volume boundary. You just want to capture as much as the pile you can walking. First, whenever you do it, you want to go volume boundary, so you want to walk all the way around the pile. Boom, 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 doing shots. So we're going to go in. Again, you click this little guy here. That's how I do it. You don't want points or existing line. You'll use those later. But right now we're going to go new line. You can name it. Boundary or the stockpile. Just topsoil. Stockpile. Then you'll drop down list. This is where you're going to go brake lines. Area, everything you're going to need. So you're going to click volume boundary and accept. Now, there's a couple options from here. We can go walk and do a point with our instrument height at a 6.52. Each walk to a point, set down, shot, or we can mount it to a vehicle, or we can do walking mode. I generally do walking mode, so we'll just click to walking. Now I'm going to offset the bottom of our grade rod up because we're lifting it off the ground to walk. So I generally go about 5/10 up, so I go about 7 feet. And then horizontal shots, you can set this to whatever you want. So as you're walking, every 10 feet you go, it'll automatically take a shot. And every 1.5 foot in elevation change that your grade rod changes, it'll take a shot. I generally go 1.5 foot, 2 feet, because if you trip and your rod goes off kilter a little bit, it won't, if it goes down 5/10, it's not going to take a shot. It has to be a big fall for it to take a shot. 1.5 foot will kind of deviate all that mess you want to avoid. And so now we're ready to go. So you just go to your stockpile, which on my emulator, we're walking over to our stockpile. We're going to want to walk around the whole thing, so we're just going to walk around it, like just going around. See the edges? We're sticking on those brake lines. Just going to walk along this bottom, around this bottom, around the whole pile, the whole time. So see how it's automatically taking a shot. So I start there. Oh, it has me way over there. If I walk over there, it takes a shot. But if you notice, if I zoom in here, if I come in less than 10 feet, it didn't take a shot. So I'm just walking around. But if I go out here, it took a shot. So this is me walking around my stockpile, going around this whole bottom. Loop around like that. And once you get close to the other side, let's stitch a new one here because this one's... So now we walked around our pile. We're coming close to the end. We don't have to get right there. If you want to take an extra shot, you just hit +1, enter on your collector. Now that's going to close the gap. So we're done with that. We want to collect our brake lines now. So what we're going to do is just go in, select brake line, accept. See how it automatically closes? So now everything inside this is our stockpile. We should add the perimeter. What we did, we walked all the way around this this guy. We got to there and it closed. So now we want to collect our break lines. Now break line, we're going to come up these guys. So you're just going to come up these edges. See these ribs? That's going to be a break line. You're going to have one here, coming down. Anything that's definition. So imagine if you threw a blanket or a sheet over the pile, anywhere that there's edges, tops and toes, you want to capture that with the break line feature. So we're just going to walk around. We're just capturing this top of the stockpile. When you come to an edge, we just hit enter. Because if you're in between that 10 feet, you want to capture all your tops, toes, corners, and edges. So like say I turned the corner there, see it didn't shoot when I landed. So I want to turn back over there. I'm just going to be there. And then I'll walk over another corner. And then I'll keep walking down. And as I go up and down. So this would be one break line. I'm going to hit stop. Each one's different. Collect it. I'm going to come up and say I did that one's a break line. And I'm just going to keep going along. New break, just capture all, as most detail as you can. I'm going to come up here, get this guy. Just get this whole top. See, like that's one kind of area. I'm just walking that edge. See, I'm just kind of getting all this with one break line. And see how this break line, this is all area that's roughly one. So what that does is that creates a flat surface between there, unless I add other break lines in. I want to add this guy, that mound in. That's just, so, you know, I went from there, it runs it flat, it doesn't get this. So there, I'd want to go select another break line, and I want to get this pile on top of there too, because it has it flat under there. So I'll walk around the bottom of that with the break line. And the break lines don't close, so you have to get as close as you can. See, if we go over here, we'll hit start. See how I created, I'm walking around this pile, all the way around it. But when I'm done, zoom in here, you'll notice when I select a new break line to get to the top of that pile over here, the line's still open. So that's where you want to get closer with your break lines if it's an encompassing thing. And then this one, it's a pretty uniform pile. I'll just walk right up and over the top, and just like that. So you're just gonna select a new break line, accept. It's gonna go right up that ridge, and as you climb, it's automatically gonna shoot. And then when you hit high pivot points, corners, and ridges, you're gonna add shots. There's no such thing as too many shots. Keep adding it. We got that little ridge line. So let's say we captured all our break lines. We walked around this edge, and each break line, there's a break line here. We got all these break lines, but we want to pick up all that little stuff in between it. You know, I got a break line here. Capture this lower part of the pile, and I come around the top. So it creates a surface, come around that bottom. Now I want to pick up all the little humps and bumps. Well, that's where you just come down in. We go to points. We don't want to show every time we're walking because it's going to pump up the menu. I can show you right now. I always just name these topo. So I'll hit it. I'm going to keep that showing just to show you what it's going to do. I'm going to hit start, and see how it comes up every time. We don't want that. So what we're going to want to do is hit show every time, no, then accept. Now as we just randomly walk, this should take a shot every 10 feet, and every shot where we want them. So what this does, it just picks up the little details of your surface and your stockpile. The more detailed, the more accurate. So then, now we have this whole stockpile encompassed. And then we got all our features. We want to process it. We're going to come out. We have all our stockpile. So now we want to go to the house symbol. So we're going to go into some Kogo tools. Run into Kogo. Again, we'll go to the house symbol. Go into Kogo. We just review and edit data. And now, if we want to have several options in here, if you want to know what something does, just click the little menu. It tells you what each guy is. We want to compute volume. So we're just going to select that. Now we're going to select our boundary. Remember, we went in, we made a volume boundary. Click that guy. Now, if you want to run expansion on here, for our sake, you can say, 5% expansion or whatever. It's a stockpile. It's already been exposed, so it's pretty much already expanded. So we'll just keep it at 0. Now we're just going to hit accept, and it's going to run a report. Now the reason I'm showing 0 is because we made it up. We didn't actually go there. But this is where you would see your expansion factor, your cut, your fill, and just your overall stockpile. It also gives you the base area, your perimeter, your surface area, and your boundary name. Now when we hit accept, that just saves it in the background. But see how we didn't get any quantities because we're on this flat surface in the emulator. One day I'll get out and I'll show you actually doing this. But now we just captured our stockpile. We'll move on to the next one. You can bring that in. You can generate your volumes right here on the collector. Or you can export this data, bring it into Business Center, and do it there as well, especially if you're doing site topos and whatnot. Thank you.